I'm nervous as can be, palms sweating, shaking, can't make eye contact with you. Maybe there's a chance that if I didn't blow my shot with the Chiefs, we'd be hanging out with T-Swift. Do you ever think about that?
We are you. Where did this just take a turn to?
No.
What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Couple Things.
With Shawn and
Andrew.
That's right.
It was weird.
How'd you like that?
I don't know. I got really confused there for a second.
It's a beautiful day here. I'm
in the neighborhood?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Some people like me singing.
I love when you sing, babe.
Really?
I do.
Good morning, everybody. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Welcome back to the show. Today we're doing yet another episode of Wild Stories with Shawn and Andrew.
Wild Stories. To summarize, we're going to talk about Taylor Swift, our engagement.
The time Shawn lied to me to go on a date with me. That was a big trip. Hey, we'll get there. We'll get there. And then maybe talk about bees as well. If you want to learn more, stay tuned. But if you haven't already, please hit the subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. We have a lot of Couple Things episodes going live. We also have some fantastic other shows.
I know.
That are on the Family Made Network. Let's tell you about them. How about Enjoy Life with Maddie Jackson?
Yep.
Her story is amazing.
Yes.
And I really admire her positive outlook on life, despite all that she's gone through, including losing a husband before the age of 30.
Yes. Never TMI, currently on pause, but will be coming back soon with Jacqueline and Seth Gibson. They basically are just like, they say everything you're thinking.
She's Shawn's favorite. Shawn
She's
just giggles every time she listens to Jacqueline and Seth.
It's exactly what the title says, Never TMI. It's about marriage. It's about parenting. It's about all of the hardships and conversations and awkward things you encounter in a marriage, but that for some reason society doesn't let us talk about, but they talk about so openly in such a beautiful way.
We also have Hot Marriage, Cool Parents with Doug and Jamie.
Yes.
You've probably seen them from Married at First Sight. They literally did that.
Yeah.
They got married at first sight, and now they're living life big.
They're thriving.
They're always on some adventure, and the way they speak about things, the community they've built around their experiences is great. So I think you'll just check out some of those. We'll mention more next episode.
Yeah. I mean, there's like 15 of them. So please check out familymade.com. Scroll through all the podcasts, listen to them, because we love them. We hand select them, and we think they're phenomenal.
Yeah, and we think you will too. So, shall we talk about Taylor Swift today?
Yeah, Taylor Swift is all up in the news right now with Travis Kelce.
Can you believe it?
What?
I was thinking about this the other day. This is what I fell asleep thinking about.
Oh.
First of all, I never think about Taylor Swift. Not that big. Am I a big fan? I like her music.
Andrew's a big fan.
I'm not all in though. You know what I'm saying?
You
need to calm down. She has a couple good songs that I jam to, but maybe there's a chance that if I didn't blow my shot with the Chiefs, we'd be hanging out with T-Swift. Do you ever think about that?
We are you. Where did this just take a turn to?
No.
Maybe if I didn't blow my shot at the Chiefs, I could have had a shot with T-Swift.
I would still be playing there. The guy that I lost the job to is still there. No, that's because that's not how I meant it.
Oh.
Anyway, but Shawn did have the opportunity to meet Taylor Swift.
I have met T-Swift.
But more than that.
This isn't like a wild story of any kind. It was right after the Olympics. Is
your eye still twitching?
Still twitching.
I thought you were about to tear up.
No.
I mean, she means a lot to me too, but this is a wild story, babe.
It was right after the Olympics. I was on tour with the Olympic team, and Taylor was getting ready to go on tour. What tour was it?
2008. I'm not sure. One of her first albums. I have no idea.
I don't even remember. But we got a call. I got a call. My agent got a call. Basically, that was like, do you want to be one of the women featured in the opening video of her tour? So like, stage goes dark, arena's filled, a video pops up, and they're like, do you want to be in that? Because they were featuring all women. It was about strength. It was about power. And I was like, yeah. I knew her songs back in the day. I don't think I was a diehard fan then.
In 2008, she wasn't what she is now.
No, but she was big time. She was still like touring and stuff.
Yeah.
So it was a very easy shoot. I was in LA. It was like 2 hours. It was down on like Melrose, I think, against a brick wall. It was like random. It wasn't a studio.
You had to bring your Olympic medals?
Yep.
Wow.
You had to wear all black, and you had to have like whatever it was you were featuring, your like iconic thing. So mine was my medals. And I think I said one line. I don't know. It was cheesy. It was little. But it ran on every show of her entire tour, which was really cool.
So Taylor Swift was looking to you to help sell tickets to her show. You think she's still doing that? Do you think she'll return the favor?
No.
She could be in our intro video to a couple things?
Yeah.
Taylor.
I will say,
hello.
There is something, it's so cool because like we're similar ages and stuff, not even remotely on the same level.
Athletically,
but no,
vocally,
just like in career-wise.
Artistically.
But there is something so powerful about what she's created and how she keeps recreating herself and building this empire. It's really cool to watch.
But you met her though.
I did meet her. It was the CMT Awards. It was after my first stint on Dancing with the Stars. Mark and I were presenting an award. And we were backstage during like dress rehearsal. And we were in the dressing room together. That's weird.
Do you ever think if Taylor Swift's a fan of yours, what if she's a fan of yours?
She's not a fan of mine.
She might be.
I don't think she knows.
We were just listening. Armchair Expert with Dax Shepard. Someone sent us a clip of
Jonathan Van Nys.
Jonathan. They were talking about Shawn. People are fans of you.
He's
dude.
a huge gymnastics fan.
We met Mark Wahlberg. Came up to Shawn and like at the
that
Super Bowl.
That one blew me away.
Mark Wahlberg is doing this he's mobbed and literally diverts his attention towards Shawn and says, "Hey, I just want to say I'm a big fan of yours."
That one blew me away.
That was crazy.
That was fun.
At that same cool. Super Bowl, we met Britney Spears. That was crazy. Actually, can we tell that story? Not the Britney Spears story, but the Marshawn Lynch.
We might burn bridges telling that story.
No, the Marshawn Lynch.
Okay.
Do you remember this?
Yeah.
I was just telling the story on Saturday with the Datter Days crew. I was going to say one more thing about the T-Swift, but I can't remember what it was. Oh, I will say to Shawn's point about what Taylor has done.
Yeah.
Again, I don't know all of her songs. I'm not itching every time she releases an album. I'm not like pouncing on it. But I have this wall of excellence that we're orchestrating in my office that Shawn beautifully designed.
Lori Pronjapay designed
It's somewhere on our Instagram.
Yeah.
If you want to check it out. But the thought is you have a sports memorabilia of someone that I admire that has a quality of excellence.
Yes.
That they embodied. So like if you think about Michael Jordan, the quality that I associate is not accepting anything less than excellence. Or Roger Federer, his attention to detail. I have my one non-sports memorabilia is all of Taylor Swift's albums signed by Taylor Swift because the reinvention. She's continued to evolve and she's been doing her thing for 20 years.
He's a Swiftie, guys.
That's my story about the Wall of Excellence. Back to Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Lynch. Okay, so this was... Andrew was just starting out in the NFL. What year was this?
2015.
Yeah, 2015. We weren't married yet. Wild.
Seahawks, Patriots.
It was the Super Bowl in Arizona. I got hired by... Was it Inside Edition or AT?
Yes.
One of them. To be like a commentator on the sidelines of the Super Bowl. So I would go around just like interview people and whatever. It was cool. But it gave us full access to the Super Bowl. So the first interview that they really wanted me to do was in like the big mosh pit press day right before the Super Bowl day, where they bring out all the athletes. They have two stages. So like Tom Brady was on one stage, Marshawn Lynch was on another stage, and then a lot of the athletes were just like roaming around. But they really wanted me to interview Marshawn Lynch. And I had some very massive internal conflictions with being a sideline reporter, trying to like push my way to the front because
it's not your ideal job, I don't think.
No.
You're pretty timid and meek. And this was, if you remember, for those who are into football, the year that Marshawn Lynch was
not doing
just
interviews
on repeat He was forced to do these media days and interviews.
So he didn't get fined.
Yeah, so he'd show up, but all he would say is, "I'm just here so I don't get fined."
Yeah.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
And he would just repeat that
over and over.
Every reporter. And so they're like, "Oh, Shawn, if he's going to give anybody an interview, it's you. Here's a bag of Skittles. And how about you throw Skittles at him?"
He's a big fan of Skittles. Publicly has talked about how he loves Skittles.
But they wanted me to like throw Skittles at him.
It did feel a little disrespectful. Like,
it was shockingly disrespectful.
Like, here's a,
And they're my employers. I didn't know what to do, like all these things. So I pushed my way to literally the front of the barricade.
They pushed your way to the front. You had like 2 bodyguards with you.
And I have this big bag of Skittles. And all I remember thinking is like, there is no way in HE double hockey sticks I am throwing Skittles at this phenomenal professional athlete, human being, to get his attention just for an interview. I was like, I cannot stoop that low. So I'm standing there and they're like, "Go, Shawn, go, get his attention, whatever." And I was like, oh my gosh, I don't know what to do. So finally I like catch his attention. And I probably should have been fired for this, given the role I was supposed to do. But I was like, "Marshawn, I just wanted to wish you the best of luck, and I hope you have fun tomorrow. Here's some Skittles." And I just like handed him the whole bag. And I remember he like winked at me or something, and he was like, "Thank you."
Nah, he said, I remember it like this.
Oh, God.
There's this sea of reporters
Yeah.
throwing questions left and right at Marshawn. He's only replying with, "I'm only here so I don't get fined. I'm just here so I don't get fined." Shawn is on his left, pushes his way to the front, whispers this little thing, doesn't ask a question, just gives him Skittles. And I remember as him looking, I think there's footage of this. We have to find it on YouTube. Looking to his left and saying, "Oh, you kind of cute though." That's the only thing he said other than, "I'm just here so I don't get fined." So fast forward to 2018?
No,
27?
2016. We reported
What?
to the Raiders right after.
No, this was 2017. I ended up being on a team with Marshawn Lynch. He went to the Raiders, and I was there, and I confronted Marshawn about it. I was like, "Yo, you kind of hit on my wife back in the day," and his reply was pretty epic. He said, "I called her cute. I wasn't lying though, was I?"
But it was
I wasn't
funny.
lying though.
He remembered the exact exchange, and he's like, "Super Bowl? Oh yeah." He was very nice.
It was great.
But that was weird.
That's one of my favorite stories because Marshawn Lynch is just such a legend.
Yeah, he is a legend, and he was so nice, and I just felt bad because he wanted to just play his sport. Whatever. Fast forward to the Britney Spears though. It was basically the same thing. They wanted me to chase Britney Spears down into the bathroom for an interview.
So the Super Bowl, obviously, there's a ton of celebrities. This is where we met Mark Wahlberg. This is where, Katy Perry was doing a show. We had field passes, dude. That was crazy.
That was crazy.
Nuts. And it was like Idina Menzel.
Yep.
We were just running around the stadium the whole game trying to get these interviews with Shawn and whoever celebrity. And so word on this, like it always goes down like this. Someone whispers like, "Hey, I hear Britney's going to the bathroom. She's in suite 107 or whatever." And they're like, "Okay, let's go up there." And you're like chasing, you got camera. And it's really hectic, it's stressful and uncomfortable. You know?
Yeah.
And then turns out she was in the bathroom. Shawn's like standing there. She's like, "I don't want to go in the bathroom." And they like kind of shove Shawn in there, like,
"No,
you got to do it."
I put my foot down. I didn't go in.
Okay.
I remember I like ended up backing up against the wall, and I was like, "Absolutely not. I'm not crossing this line."
The background of that is Shawn gets approached sometimes in the bathroom to take pictures and things.
It's so disrespectful.
It's not. People are excited to see you. Anyway, Shawn would prefer not to happen, so she was trying to extend the same courtesy to Britney. But we met her.
You did. She was nice.
She was nice.
This show is sponsored by Betterhelp.
Lately, I feel like Shawn and I have so much going on, it can be hard to turn my brain off. I know it's good for me to have the ability to turn off work mode, but sometimes my brain kind of just gets in the way.
Yeah, the same thing happens to me, but with sleep. It can be so hard to turn my brain off and get my mind to stop racing with thoughts of everything I need to get done, which is why I love therapy, because it helps you figure out what's holding you back so your mind can work for you instead of against you.
Therapy has personally been really helpful for me because it's taught me how to clear my mind and process through different patterns that I have. You know, when you're preoccupied with something and it's hard to be present in a moment because you have this thing lingering.
Yes.
But I used to think therapy was just for dealing with trauma or like a rough season in marriage. But honestly, going as a preventative measure is helpful too.
I agree. And it can be hard to find a therapist that's always available if you're busy, but that's why we really like BetterHelp. It's entirely online and it's designed to be convenient and flexible so it fits your schedule. All you do is fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist. And what I love is that you can switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Make your brain your friend with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/EastFam today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/EastFam. Okay, so the year is 2013. The month is August. And Shawn and I have been dating for a month and a half, 6
maybe,
weeks.
but we've maybe like seen each other 3 times.
This was our third time seeing each other.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
so
man.
like the first time we met was in 2012, and that was like when we got introduced. Didn't see each other again for 9 months, and that was like our first official date. We went to the CMA Fest. We hung out for 4 or 5 days, which was amazing.
Yeah.
Then I went back home to Iowa. He stayed in Nashville. I flew out to the lake house the second time.
Yep.
And got to meet your family. Wow, that was fast. Hung out for another 3 days, 4 days. Flew home, and then the third time we were meeting each other, Andrew invited me to his brother's wedding.
When you know. It was done deal. After Nashville, it was a done deal. That first date
agree.
we had.
I agree.
So I was like, all right, let's take a step here.
Yeah. So there were so many logistics going on. I was still working. I was traveling a lot. Andrew was flying from Nashville to San Diego where the wedding was. I had like a couple of events that I had to do the days leading up to when Andrew was going to fly out. But I told Andrew, I was like, I'll meet you in San Diego. Yeah, we'll just meet up there. In the back of my mind, though, we're early on dating. I wanted to do like a grand gesture. I really wanted to spend time with him, especially flying to San Diego. I wanted to be like equipped with all of the knowledge of what I was getting myself into.
No, this makes me think, oh man, good memories of those early days of dating when every second
Yeah.
you just want to capitalize on and like just be with each other and cuddle and look into each other's eyes and giggle, and that's what it was.
I know.
Dude.
And I hadn't seen you in a while. And so I had this like master plan going on where I had purchased tickets from my appearance, which I don't even remember where it was.
I think it was in Chicago.
Maybe Chicago. I had purchased flight tickets from Chicago to Nashville where I was going to surprise Andrew and get on the same flight from Nashville to San Diego. So we were going to be able to fly together. That's like a good chunk of time too. It's like a 4-hour flight. And basically, long story short, my event ran over, the flight got canceled, all of these things. I ended up stuck in Chicago, and it's like the middle of the night. The flight to San Diego is leaving at like 6 a.m.,
early,
7 a.m.
Early.
There's no flights available. I am so exhausted. I can't drive through the night. My parents won't allow me to drive through the night. Which is like, I was 20 years old, 21 years old, but still like 21 years old, should not be driving through the night from Chicago to Nashville, which would be like a 8-hour drive. So I'm calling all these people, and one of my dad's best friends from Des Moines owns a kind of like a limousine company, like a
Car service.
like a car service company. So I finally get in touch with him, and I'm like, listen, I'm stuck here. And this is my dad's idea. He's like, if you are adamant you're going to make it to Nashville. Meanwhile, I could have just caught a flight from Chicago to San Diego in a second.
Yes.
There were flights available. But my dad had the idea. He's like, call my friend, see if he can help you. So I talked to him. He sent a car from Des Moines to pick me up. It was like a driver he trusted. And he drove all the way through the night to Nashville, dropped me off at the airport. And I remember I like got to the airport earlier than you or after you?
Just after me.
Just after you, I think.
Yeah.
Wow, it was a blur. But I remember walking into the airport and I was so nervous because I had like pulled it off. And I was texting you like, are you at the airport? Or
No, you
whatever?
got there before me because you were sitting at the table.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I saw you.
Yeah.
Right where the airport like goes left.
But I was playing coy and I was like, are you at the airport? Whatever. And I remember seeing you and just being like, oh, this is so exciting.
Oh man, we used to give the biggest hugs back in the day at the airport.
Yeah.
You remember that? Every time we used to pick you up. That's a wild story. I put that on the list because it is pretty crazy to think about what you do for love.
Yeah.
We were on the Bussin' with the Boys podcast with Will Compton, and he was asking us about how we got to know each other and how the whole thing went down. And it's so embarrassing to think back on like these things you thought were cool that you said, but were actually extremely embarrassing, or like the times where you put yourself out there, which is what you need to do.
Uh-huh.
Or all the effort that you go to, like where you could have just caught a flight from Detroit or something, or Wisconsin to San Diego and met out there, but you sacrificed so much to be. I just think it's wild.
So was it on the flight there or on the flight back? I think it was the flight back.
It was a flight back, yeah.
So we meet up in Nashville. We're giddy. We're two young, dumb kids in love. Fly there. We land in San Diego, and I'm really glad I caught this flight because it's like the only time I got to spend with you. And he's like, I'm in the wedding, obviously. I'll see you later. And you disappeared. And I remember that was truly like the first time I was like thrown into your family. Not just like meeting, but like thrown into your family.
My strategy was not, I'll like, cater to you and hold your hand a little bit, but you got to meet my aunts and uncles and brothers and sisters. And if you can't get along with them, see you later. But if you fit in, that's it.
I remember right when we walked in to the hotel, you guys went on like an elliptical ride or something, all of you.
Yeah.
But your dad pulled me aside and he's like, after the elliptical, let's grab breakfast. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is a lot. But I remember having breakfast with him on the dock and him just asking me about my life and my family and all these things. And it was so sweet. It was so sweet. But then we had the whole wedding, which was so much fun. You okay?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, baby. I remember that night. So by now, the wedding has gone and we have like the reception after.
Remember the rooming situation?
Yeah. Yeah. I was fully capable of buying my own hotel room. And he's like, no. We have our hotel rooms.
Yeah.
You're staying with my sister-in-law, and my childhood nanny. Like you're sharing beds.
Shout out to Katie and Aaron and Christine.
Shout out to Katie.
Katie really is the reason that
I'm part of the family.
Yeah, she
Katie
sold the
took
show.
me under her wing and she's like, I got you. I'll explain everything that's going on.
So Sean's literally sharing a bed with somebody.
Yeah.
There was some snorers in there too.
Yeah.
But I was busy the whole weekend because I was in the wedding doing groomsmen stuff, setting up and whatever.
But by this time, I'm going on like 48 hours of no sleep. I've been traveling all over the country trying to get here.
You met my best friend growing up, Justin, who was asking you all these like hardball questions.
Dude.
He was not.
I was being grilled.
Yeah.
I was being grilled. By that night, we were taking like a yacht ride, catamaran ride, all of us, the whole wedding party. And I have never been so tired in my entire life. I fell asleep on the boat. Do you remember that?
Because you drove through the night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, fast forward one more day. We both get on the flight home to Nashville. I'm flying back to Nashville with you.
Because I was in the middle of football camp then. I had to like ask my coach for permission to go to my brother's wedding because we were in 2-day camp. Anyway.
Yeah. And on this flight, Andrew, we were doing crossword puzzles together. And we had this little crossword puzzle book, which I still have. And Andrew made a crossword in the back of the book, like while we were on the plane, for me to do. And dude, do you know how hard that is to do?
Yeah.
I don't know how you managed this.
I honestly think it was one of my greatest artistic achievements.
Yeah.
Can I be honest? You tell a story and then I'll fess up.
Oh no.
Go ahead. What?
Did you intend for it to end the way it was supposed
Go. Tell the story.
No. So basically he creates this crossword. I go in order, figure out the words, and like the last word is like an L is filled in, 2 spaces are open, and then an E. And the like clue was I blank you, but the only letters available, like it was either like or love.
Mm-hmm.
And you even like gave me the letters. I think it was like IKOV, and I had to choose.
Yeah, that was pretty nice, dude.
That's not nice.
It was pretty nice.
I was like, well, this is a test.
And you went with.
I went with I love you.
That's right. That was done deal.
3rd date. We never said it.
Man.
We never said it, but
We also, that was the same trip. Dude, we were thick in it.
what was your fess
I
up?
think it was Isle of Few too, where it was like the Mad Gaps
Mm-hmm.
or Olive View.
Mm-hmm.
I was making this crossword and then I realized like the spaces had just lined up like that. And then I didn't build the crossword to have that as the end.
Oh,
just
okay.
so we're clear. But one thing led to another, and then I was like, oh, I think that would work out. And then I realized it could go, I love you or I like you, either way. And I was like, I like how this ended
What
up.
What were you intending?
I was just trying to build a dope crossword first. And then, and then it worked out.
Did you mean for it to say love or like?
I don't remember. I want to see that crossword and see if we
Okay.
still have it. That was good. Let's tell a story about our engagement, because we ask the people we interview about how they got engaged often. Here's a situation, okay? It's July 2015. Shawn and I have been dating for just about 2 years. I had just signed with the Chiefs. I had just gotten my first paycheck really ever. I got like a signing bonus from the Chiefs. It was $10,000. I was hyped. I knew nothing about taxes. So Shawn and I are in Kansas City. We're looking at houses. We thought we were going to live there for the next 15. We thought we'd be there right now, hang out with Taylor Swift. And anyway, but we go to this diamond store because we're having these conversations.
Andrew takes me shopping for the first time. And it was at that store I found my dream ring.
Yep.
Dream ring, which is what I'm wearing.
We didn't. Yeah, it was not like Andrew came up with the ring. Some people try to make it. Try not to have their wife's input.
I'm really glad you did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was too much expense. So Shawn and I were like talking about getting married, talking about rings. We found the ring she wanted. I did kind of play it smart where I didn't tell you that I had bought the ring. We were just looking at him. Right?
Yeah.
She didn't know that I would purchase it. She didn't know that I had like designed it based off her tweaks that she had to this whatever mock-up ring. I spent every dime of that signing bonus. Realized that I wasn't going to get paid that check for the next 60 days. I put it on my credit card bill. Realized that it's also not going to be $10,000. I was in the red, dude. I was in debt and I didn't have anywhere to pay it. It was so stressful. But I got this ring and it came in the mail. They mailed it because I got cut. Oh, bro, that was a crazy situation. So I get cut. No, I hadn't been cut then. I had to go home before summer camp. And I had to mail it to me because I didn't want to wait. And the idea was I would get the ring, hang on to it that whole fall of my rookie season, and then propose that winter after my first season was done. I get it in the mail on like a Wednesday night. Shawn is throwing the first pitch out at the Chicago Cubs on Friday afternoon.
Yep.
And I had lunch with a mentor on Thursday. I sit down with this guy, Uncle Jim. He did our wedding. And I was telling him, I was like, yeah, I got the ring in the mail. And he was like, well, what's your plan with it? I said, I'm going to wait till like December or January and, take time to plan out a pretty epic engagement. And he's like, you sure about that? That ring's going to burn a hole in your pocket. And I didn't feel that way at all. But then he said, Andrew, what are you waiting for? You should just pick the next big event, the next memorable thing on the calendar and propose to her there. Don't wait. So that was lunch on Thursday. I wasn't even supposed to be up in Chicago with you on
you
Friday.
were supposed to be in Chicago.
I start thinking about it, and I'm like, okay, let me just see if I can make this work where I would propose to, people do stadium engagements. That's not how I imagined our engagement going. But let's just see if I could plan something, like even if it's on the table. So I found an email from USAG.
Yep.
Who you were throwing out the first pitch with.
Yep.
You were up there for what?
USAG. It was national championships, and so it was like a promotion marketing event to sell tickets where they would have us come in, throw the first pitch, be like, national championships, be here in a month.
And it was you and Alicia Sacramone.
Yep.
Alicia Quinn.
She's like one of my best friends.
I called Jackie on Thursday at
from USA Gymnastics.
Yeah, 3 p.m. And I'm like, hey, I just wanted to run this by you, see what your thoughts were. What if I proposed to Shawn after she threw out the first pitch? And I was not expecting this. Her immediate reaction was, yes, oh my gosh, that's amazing. Let's make it happen. So now I'm like, okay, well, now she's making it happen. And she ended up giving me a contact to the Wrigley Field guy, like whoever their contact was. And so I'm talking to this guy, Jim, I think, who I've talked to since. It's pretty fun. And we were talking through logistics. He was like, all right, well, yeah, we need to do this promo for USAG, but what if we did it right after? We can make jerseys with the last name East on it, do all this stuff. We'll have to have you out there on the field and give you some type of role. And he was like, but I won't know for sure if we can pull this off. Like, I have to get clearance, and I'll let you know tomorrow morning, which is Friday morning, like the morning that I was going to do it.
Yeah.
So this all happened very quickly, right? Friday comes along. I didn't sleep a wink that night, dude.
So Friday comes along. He surprises me and shows up in Chicago. Which, another backstory, I threw out a first pitch and made ESPN's not top 10.
Yeah.
I had thrown out many first pitches and done well. And then I threw one out at the Iowa Cubs. Tanked it. Horrible. Never threw a first pitch out after that for like years.
She was mortified to do it again.
I got invited to the Chicago Cubs, and Andrew convinced me to do it. Not because of the proposal, just like, face your fears, let's do this. He surprised me Friday morning. He's like, I'm coming to support you. I know you've been nervous. We can warm up together. It was like really sweet. I was really excited.
Yeah.
And so you show up.
I'm driving up to Chicago, and I'm calling my cousin, my brother. I'm like, yeah, hey, there's a chance that I get engaged today, but I'm waiting to hear back on if we can do it. So I show up, and like 2 hours before this goes down, I still didn't know if it was a possibility, but I brought the ring with me. And we go to the hotel. I'm nervous as can be, palm sweating, shaking, can't make eye contact with you.
Basically, from the second he arrives in Chicago, after he tells me, like, I'm coming, I'm excited to see you, I'm excited to support you, all these stuff, he shows up, and there's like something going on with you. And we basically get in a fight the whole day. Because you're acting so weird. You're the most respectful person I've ever met in my life. Like, in conversations and like eye contact, attention, like strangers around you, everything. And from the second you showed up, you wouldn't address people. You would like take phone calls and turn your back on them in the middle of a conversation. You were ignoring me. You were being super sketchy on your phone. I was like, what is your deal? And I was so mad at you.
Who was it? Lauren Morford was up there too? Who was in the room after we got it? Alice? Someone was up there. Anyway, I'm at the hotel again, hours before she's thrown out this first pitch, and I finally get confirmation. Okay, we can make it happen. And oh my gosh, I didn't know what to do. So, I thought that I was going to have more time to think through this, but I had committed to something. I got myself into a situation that now is too late to back out. So we're in this.
Did you want to back out?
No, but I'll say I've never been that nervous in my life.
I know.
So whatever that feeling is of nervousness, it's not like I want to not do this. It's just like, I can't believe I'm doing this.
Also,
And
didn't you have the
start
ring
thinking,
loose in your pocket?
Yes. So they come in these fat boxes.
Yeah.
And I was wearing blue shorts and like a white tee. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
And the box would have protruded from my pocket, glaringly obvious. So I remember I told Brady, this is the first time meeting Brady and Alicia.
Yep.
And I was like, dude, I pulled him aside. Dude,
I
I'm
remember
so
this.
nervous.
This was in the parking garage
Yes.
because you were acting so sketchy.
I was like, dude, I think I'm gonna propose to Shawn right after she throws a pitch. He's like, what? And so now Brady's in on it, and now he's nervous because he didn't want to fizzle the beans. And we take this car ride through Chicago, and it's like not that long of a car ride, but I'm trying to text people, like text my mom, text my dad, give everybody heads up because I should have texted your parents, like, dude, I don't have anything planned out.
You had asked my dad.
Oh yeah. Which is another story. I had asked her dad probably 5 months before we sat down at a Preds game, but story for another time. We get to Wrigley Field. Epic. I wish I could have enjoyed the moment, but they usher us in and Shawn's doing her thing. I'm trying to coordinate with this gym guy and Jackie who are all, super excited.
I'm so nervous because it's my first pitch since my blunder. And I'm like begging Andrew to warm up with me. And you are just like MIA. You're like, I don't have time for this. I was so mad at you.
Oh, dude. And then you go out there, you and Alicia throw the pitch, you do a handstand. Oh my God. I'm sweating thinking about it right now. And I go out there.
I turn around and I see him walking out towards me. And I was like, what are you? Again, you have to understand the context. I was so mad. And I was like, what are you doing? You're not supposed to be out here.
Right. That would have been way overstepping my bounds to like make it, hey, this is my girlfriend, Shawn.
And mind you, like I had pictured our proposal because we had been talking about it. We had talked about rings, everything. And that was not your style.
I was thinking like a hot air balloon, just her and I.
Yeah. Nothing public.
Right.
Nothing public at all.
Same. That's what I was
super
thinking.
intimate. And so it never crossed my mind.
Me neither. Until 2 hours before.
Good.
So then I go out there, pop the question. I remember saying, Shawn, I love you. It would be my honor to serve you and the Lord forever. Will you marry me?
And I was just screaming.
Yeah, you lost it.
I lost it.
I look like such a slob.
I looked like a slob.
You were sweaty. It was hot that day.
It was so hot.
I had the jersey slung across my back. She says yes. We do this big hug.
Alicia was freaking out.
Dude, Yahoo sent out a push notification on the phone saying Shawn Johnson gets engaged. That was crazy. And then I realized
there's like a standing ovation in the whole stadium, which is cool.
I realized I should have had Shawn's parents come to this. What a miss on my part.
It was great.
But I'll never forget when you called your dad in the concourse of the stadium and your voice, and that was really special to hear the excitement.
Sweaty.
I'm sweaty, dude.
Yeah. It was fun.
So it's the thought that counts, right?
It was really special.
Well, in there, we could tell the stories about bees. Maybe me having to talk with your dad. Because you blew it on that one, too.
I did not blow it.
Thanks for listening to another episode of Wild Stories. Wow, what a time. I mean, what did we cover? Taylor Swift, San Diego.
Engagement.
That was pretty solid run. Oh, Marshawn Lynch.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you haven't yet and you made it this far, subscribe to the show. Give it a rating. Hit the thumbs up. And we'll see you next week. We love these. These are just for us, again. But we hope you enjoy them. I'm Andrew.
I'm Shawn.
We're the East fam. Out.